Goshpadi Krita Varashi means the ocean. The ocean became Goshpada, like the size of a hoof print of a calf. This verse in the Bhagavatam we see, which is Padapallava Pravam Punyesho Murare Bhavam Budirvatsa Padam Param Padam 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 Yadvipadam Natesham. So, in that verse again, this Bhava Ambudhi, the Bhava Sagara will become like a little water that is stagnant. In a similar manner, the way Hanuman dealt with the ocean, yes, is as if the ocean was just a small leap. You don't even need to make an effort. In fact, today we will see the greatness of Hanuman is when he jumps across. There's a description that Hanuman felt that he's not even panting for having done what he did. This is simply nothing, as if he just walked a few steps. It was nothing for him because it is not his bala. Later, when Hanuman is about to jump, when all the Gandharvas and the Rishis and Charanas are all seeing from the balcony seat, they are commenting that this is a person who is a sevaka of Rama, therefore he will achieve the goal that he is going for. And not only that, Hanuman also declares himself to be, this is the mood of Hanuman. He says, I am Rama Nivrita Sharena. That arrow which is released from the bow of Rama, that's what I am. I'm here to do service to Rama, and he released this arrow from here from his bow, and I go straight to Lanka, finish my job and come back to him. That is my duty. So, Goshpadi Krita Varashi Mashaki Krita Rakshasu. In India we have something that disturbs all of us very much. What is that? Make some noise. Flies around. Huh? So that's the same thing here. Mashaki is mosquito. What did he do? The Rakshasas to him were like mosquitoes, nothing, simply, if he wants to annihilate them, he will do it like that. Ramayana Mahamala Vat Ratnam Vande Anilatmajam. There is a great mala. So you're wearing a mala. So when you're wearing a mala, if you're wearing a necklace, for instance, if there is one really big special jewel, where will it be kept? On the rear. Is it?
No, on the chest.
On the front. And the second good will be on the side. The third or fourth in line good ones will be here. But the first good will always be the main pendant. Yes? So he says, Ramayana Mahamala Ratnam Mande Anilatmaja. In this great mala of Ramayana, this Anilatmaja, son of Vayu, he is the true Ratna. And therefore, if you see, in Ramayana you have Bala, then you have Ayodhya, then you have Aranya, then you have Kishkinda, then you have Sundara, then you have Lanka, and then Yuddha, and close, Uttara. So if you look at the Mala, which is the central jewel? Sundara. Yes? The gem that is most beautiful is in the center. And who is the hero of Sundarakanda? It is Hanuman who is the hero. So the Lord is giving the center stage to his devotee in this whole Ramayana, and he is taking the side role, Rama. But because of the kind of affection and devotion that Hanuman has for Rama, therefore he will never allow Rama to get into side stage. He, by his devotion and his wonderful activities, is embellishing to show what a great devotee of Rama can do. So even that's credit to Rama ultimately. So the next one, Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham, that his form, Anchaneya Madipatalananam, I bow to him, who is like Adri is a hill. Kanchanadri, golden hill. So the texture of the hair on Hanuman's this thing is literally golden in color. Yes, and that description is very beautifully given when he is about to take off. It's a very beautiful description, worth reading. And where does he love to be? Parijata tarumula vasinam. Parijata vriksha. He's sitting there at the root of Bhavayami Bhavamana Nandanam. So I worship that beautiful person, Sri Hanuman. And wherever there is a talk or kirtan of Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, jidhar Raghunath ka kirtan hota hai, Tatra Tatra Kritamastakanjalim, in that place he is there with his head held down in prayer, and Bashpavari Paripurna Locharan, with eyes filled with tears, Paripurna, Marutim Navata Rakshasantakam, oh that killer of the Rakshasas, one who puts an end to the Rakshasas, to him my pranams. Manojavam Maruta Tulya Vegam. Java is speed. How does he travel? Manojavam, at the speed of the wind. To do what? To see Netflix, look at the latest messy video. No, his Manojavam is to do seva to the Lord. Manojavam Maruta Tulya Vegam. His speed is comparable to the wind, the speed of the fastest wind. And so in the comparison itself, Jitendriyam, one who is one control over Indriya. That is why if you see in India, whether it is the Pelwans, yes, or if there is a place where they are all doing exercise, there is the Hanuman that will be there, yes, or whether it is somebody who wants to be a brahmachari, he's definitely got Hanuman on his list, because he is Jitendriyam, Buddhimatam, Varishtam, most blessed, Vatatmajam, born to Vata, which is Guru Vata Pura, Guru Vayur, Vata, Vayu, same. So Vatatmajam, son of Vayu, Vanarayu Tamukyam, the leader of the Vanaras, that Sri Ramadutam Shirasaramami. To that Ramaduta, in the old days, there would be a motorbike called Rajdut. Anybody remembers? You've seen that? Yeah. Huh? You heard of that? Super old day stuff. भैया राज कौन है, दूत कौन है? राम है रामराज और दूत है हनुमान. So even a vehicle, then the Maruti. Yes? Yeah. So if you see anything that's vehicle, anything that's transport has to have something to do with Hanuman, the transporter of good news to Sita, the transporter of good news back to Rama, the transporter of which hill? Meruparvat. What did he carry? Okay, Sanjeevani. Thank you for that. So Sanjeevani. Actually Sanjeevani, what's the name of the mountain? Please somebody answer.
Marutwamala. Marutwamala in Malayalam. Marutwamala. Marutwa.
மருத்துவமலை அது எதுக்குன்னா அதுல வந்து மருத்துவ செடி இருந்தது, அதனால மருத்துவமலை they will say in Malayalam. But this I will keep this for you, please check it out. But what did he go there to find? That is the word that you said. What was that? Sanjeevani is what he wanted to bring from there. He didn't find. So this is the smart performer. वो नहीं मिला तो सारा पर्वत लेके आऊंगा. ये पहले जाते जाते, first when he was going also, when he was heading towards Lanka, at that time he makes this mention that if I don't find Sita there, I won't stop. I will go further to heaven to see if somebody carried her away further in that direction. If I don't find her there, then I will come back to this Lanka which I am told she is in, and I will carry Lanka and bring it here. That's the mood and the capability of Hanuman.
Sanjeev is the name of the mountain.
Sanjeeva Parvatam. Sanjeevi.
Or you're saying Sumeru, younger brother of Meru, also called the child of Mahaparvat Meru.
This is Sumeru. So Sanjeevani is the is more referred to the herb that is available there. So, what do you get by worshipping Hanuman? Buddhir. We all need mandastu mandamatayo mandabhagya. Buddhir, balam. That there is enough bala, sharira has, so that we will be able to be of useful service to the Lord and be able to maintain our sharira without problem. And yashodhairyam.
Dronagiri Parvat.
Dronagiri. Thank you. Dronagiri. Or also known as Sumeru. There are a couple of names for that. Thank you, Prabhu. Who's that? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sunil Agarwal.
Sunil ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So what is Anjana Nandanam Veeram Buddhir Balam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Abhaya Nirbhaya Arogata Ajatyam Vakpatutvam cha Hanumat Smaranat Bhavet. Ajatyam means you can't, there is no unbeatable in whatever Vakpatutvam cha, the way he speaks. Hanuman, that Hanuman Smaranat Bhavet, I am doing Smarana of him. Anjana Nandanam Veeram, son of Anjana, Janaki Shokanashanam, the person who destroyed the Shoka of Janaki. We all go to pray to Lakshmi to destroy our Shoka. He destroys the Shoka of Janaki. Kapisham, the lord of the monkeys. Akshahantaram, what does that mean?
अक्षय को मारने वाले.
जिसने हत्या किया अक्षय कुमार का, जो रावण का पुत्र था. अक्षहंतारम वंदे लंका भयंकरम. People of Lanka knew no fear because they had the strongest guy who was ruling them, and till now there was no history of anybody beating him. So they knew no fear. Hanuman introduced fear. Vande Lanka Bhayankaram. That person who put fear into everybody in Lanka, that's the greatness of Hanuman. Ullangya Sindho Salilam Salilam Chashoka Vanim Janakatmajaya. Another beautiful verse. Ullangye Langna, हिंदी में प्रयोग करते हैं, उसका रूट है उल्लंघे सिंधु. You should hear Jasraj's really beautiful rendition of this shloka. Salilam, 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 Yah Shoka Janakatmajaya Adahe sung by Pandit Jasraj. Check it out. Just search Ullanghe. That's such a beautiful song. Ullanghe Sindho. Chalang marker, he crossed over the ocean. Salilam, across the water. Salilam. It's simple. Simple job. Salilam, Salilam. Cha shoka vanim. किसके लिए? और उधर जाके क्या किया? Shoka vanim. Vannihi. Where do we hear in Vannihi in Bhagavad Gita? Vanir. There's a place in Bhagavad Gita. Vannihi. Anybody? Cha shoka vanim. Vani means Agni. The Agni. What Agni is this? Shoka Agni. Who's Shoka Agni? Janakatma Jaya. जनक का पुत्री के हृदय में दिल में जो शोक का अग्नि था, that shoka agni, he wanted to extinguish that shoka agni by giving the beautiful message of Rama. So they also say that the jivatma is suffering in this material world, and for this jivatma, which is ghana ghanatvam samsaradava nalalingaloka. So the jivatma which is burning, for that jivatma you have to give that ring in the form of Guru, and that's the role that Hanuman is playing, because he goes there, and for that Sita, who is across the other side, he is giving her the good tidings that I am here, Ramaduta. He knows, now he knows. Till now he didn't know where you are, but now he knows where you are. So don't worry, my job is to go and bring him back. So it's done. Now you can take a chill pill. Yes, that's the message he wants to give to Sita. So what is he doing? Yes, shoka agni of that is within Sita's heart. Adahet adaya tenaiva dadaha lanka. What did he do? You caused so much fire in the heart of Sita. He took that fire and he caused fire in entire Lanka. So this is Valmiki's beautiful description. That fire, yes, which burnt Sita, now you experience that fire. You burned in the fire of hell. Entire Lanka was fully, literally burnt down in entirety. Yes. So, Namami tam pranjali anjaneyam. To that Hanuman, I offer my respects. Valmiki Giri Sambhuta. This shloka is getting into Valmiki. So we'll close with this and go on to that segment today, where we see the first interaction between Rama and Hanuman. So you must have heard this before. But we'll fluff it up a little more and elaborate this to understand more in detail. And we'll go as long as it takes us. I don't have an agenda as to how far. It's going to be a reading session. So, animals. Why we say bhaya is the most important quality for animals. Human is supposed to be free of fear. Because if you have fear, then what you should be doing every minute, you should be looking around. Is there a snake? Is there a lion that's going to beat me? Is there somebody else who is coming? You see birds? You see deer? 2 mouthfuls? Look up. Birds always looking around. Head capable of swiveling. All their eyes are positioned in such a way that they can see 360. Apna to idhar bhi dikhta nahi hai paadi. Yes? Even this 180 is not properly visible to us many times. Thoda side mein gaya to accident ho jata hai. Why you didn't do shoulder check? Yes? But for them, eye is placed here. Therefore, you will see some videos of a guy trying to go and beat a cow from behind, or go and climb on a horse. When he comes exact timing, he will get a kick, because their eyes are on the side and they get a literal 360 view. They can see everything that's happening. Why? Because fear is their main propensity. Yes? But as a human, we cannot have fear. Therefore, if you see monkeys have a little more directed to the front, but not straight eyes like us. A little more on the side, like this. Yes. And they always live in a jund, a big team. You'll never see one monkey suddenly walking alone, unless he's a langur or something. Some varieties are there, very independent, more human-looking varieties in them. So, Sugriva, apart from being a monkey, had been frightened by the experience that he had with Vali. So, already monkeys are frightened. This is a double frightened monkey. At the first shot, anything comes, anybody comes, any slightest noise, he's thinking, oh, Wali is here to beat me up. He's been frightened to hell. That's the kind of situation that Sugriva is. So, Sugriva, what happens? He suddenly sees two young men coming there, both looking exactly like each other, very close to each other. Nice, broad-chested, very, very fit, but dressed like ascetics. So it's very confusing. What is this? You won't see the shoulders, you won't see the chest up, you won't see the biceps and the triceps for some sadhu Mahatma. No? Dressed like a sadhu, but you have Dhanush Ban in your hand. And the debonair and the look of these people, this is no ordinary man who is walking on the surface of this floor. The way you look is there is fearlessness. Because when a man is in thick jungle, he's like, that's where he sees fear. Yeah? So you go, I was saying even the last week, even in villages, one of the first times we went, suddenly we are only walking on moonlight. Suddenly one devotee moved me aside. He said, wait. And I am seeing there's a bichu scorpion, this big. In my life I haven't seen a scorpion, you remember? The first time we went there, it's this big. He just saved me. If I put my leg on it, bhaiya, udhar hi ho jata. So the reality is, this is a simple farm. You get into the actual forest. Forget coming out in any way safe. There are no Tarzans that are actually alive in this world. It is only a depiction. It doesn't happen. So, there he is seeing that these two are walking fearlessly into that space. So, he thinks, man, this Wali is kuch supari rakh diya mere liye. Wali has sent me these guys to shoot me down. So, he becomes agitated. He runs away from that scene, from the area that they are, and moves into Malaya. They are looking for Sugriva and Rishyamukha. Yes, there's a Malaya Parvata close to that. So they move to Malaya. And how these monkeys are going? It's a beautiful description. Param Bhitasya. First, this is Sugriva's situation. Bhita is fear. Param Bhita, extremely frightened. He's like crazy frightened. Vani, Vali, Pranihitau. These people have been sent here by Vali to get me. That's very, very clear. So then he says all the monkeys, when they are in fear, they can't walk normally. They can't do anything normally. They'll jump from top of the tree, they'll shake the branches, everything will fall. This full thing is described here. I'm not giving some kahani. You have seen monkeys in fright. You see, suddenly when all monkeys will start shouting, you will see they'll become so wild and active. You get like frightened with the cry and with all the activity that they're doing. It seems all the monkeys became so frightened when they saw Rama and Lakshmana after when they were running with Sugriva. They didn't know what's hitting them, Hare Krishna. So they were like crazy, jumping. So at that time, Sugriva, finally, they all arrive at one place where they are going to meet Sugriva. So they all come and stand in front of Sugriva for the sake of discussion. Otherwise, they can't stop jumping any which ways. Okay, it's in their nature. So Sugriva is telling them, Hanuman is telling them, hey, listen, we are in Malaya Hills at this point in time. In this place, you know that you don't need to fear Vali. There's a backstory to that. Vali killed a demon, threw his carcass in some place. It went and fell on a Rishi's ashrama who was in Rishyamukha. And when the body fell there and destroyed the ashrama of the Rishi, that Rishi made a mention, you do anything to this place ever again in your life, you will be decimated. Yes? This was the curse that was given to Vali. So Vali knew that he will not want to go to Rishyamukha under any circumstance. Sugriva knew this very well also. So Sugriva took shelter of Rishyamukha so that Vali will not be able to come to him there. So Hanuman is saying, Bhaiya, we are in this place where Vali is going to come here. So don't worry, it's not a problem. Then he says, by nature, because Shaka Mrigatvam, what is your nature? You are an animal that lives on the branches. Shaka Mrigatvam. because of that monkeyhood that is in you, that's why you're getting so frightened about it. This situation is not worthy of fright. This is Hanuman's first sentence. He is speaking to Sugriva as an advisor. You see the capacity in which he is agreeing, he is having Hanuman. Hanuman is not, hey bhaiya kya bolta hai? Nahi, main aapka nahi sununga. Not like that. Hanuman is somebody whose words are respected. Hanuman is challenging Sugriva. Later also he wakes Sugriva up later. Yes? Saves him from the greatest fear of getting killed in the hands of Lakshmana. You know that story? We'll see if we have that much time to come there. So, he's saying, you're lily-livered. You don't have even this much. What are you so frightened about, man? And then he says, you're monkey nature and therefore you're afraid. This is not a situation to be afraid. So Sugriva is looking at him. Okay, fine. He's speaking strong words, but he's also somebody worthy of taking the advice off. So then Sugriva is learning from him. He says, listen, you didn't see them. I saw them. Okay? First, they are long-armed. Whoever describes Rama will not but describe the beauty of Rama. Yes? Here Sugriva is actually frightened of him. But he's saying they are long-armed, beautiful lotus eyes. You know, they look like sons of God. I don't know how these guys landed here. must have come in a UFO. Yeah? And then he says, actually, we can never trust kings. And kings in their circle, they have many friends. So it looks like maybe Vali is friends with them and he influenced them to come hunting for me because he can't come. So he's sent these guys to get me. So then he says, Hanuman, there is only one way. You go and understand the intent of these people. Why are they here? Speak to them and understand. This section is very, very beautiful. It gets you to admire the kind of relationships that you see between Hanuman and Rama and Lakshmana. But it also gives you the opportunity to admire the intellect, the ability to speak, the ability to discern, the ability to have, when you see a person, you call it that Samudrika Lakshana. When you see the body and the build of a person, you get to understand what he is or where he is coming. I don't know whether you guys have seen or heard. I've heard of an old Sherlock Holmes movie. So Hare Krishna, what happens in the Sherlock Holmes movie? He looks at a person and he says, oh, this man must be somebody who's doing a desk job. So how did he guess that? He guessed that because he's seeing that in the right hand, the cufflink has been rubbed many times and it is shining. Not on the left hand. On the right hand, the cufflink is shining. So the person is actually doing something in that. So, this is modern day jugglery. But you will see that later, where you will see the greatness of Hanuman, that Hare Krishna. You will see the greatness of Hanuman that will come out here. So then, there's a short description of Hanuman and Tat Kapehe. Subhimasya Durasadasya. So they are describing Hanuman. That Kapi, Hanuman jo hai, Subhimasya, very, very strong. Durasadam, you cannot defeat him. He's a very, very strong personality. So good choice. Sugriva chose the right person and he sent him to meet Rama and Lakshmana. So Sugriva goes there to meet them. What does he do? Bhikshu Rupam. He takes the form of a Bhikshu, of a Brahmana mendicant. He goes there. They are also fraudsters. He is also fraudster. Yes. There is a very old story about the Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhus. So after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, there was one disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. From last week, I am getting this memory back in. Who would say, this Jai Ghosha will go on. So sometimes Jai Ghosha will go for half an hour. We only know some 20 items on the list, no? This Jai Ghosha will go on for half an hour. And in that, one of the Jai Ghoshas is Kapat Manushya Ki Jai. If somebody is a kapati, uska jai kyun, jaikar kyun kare bhaiya? Kapat Manushya ki kya jai ki kya baat hai? So he's saying, who is Kapat Manushya? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is not Manushya at all, but he has come as Manushya. Therefore, Kapatya Manushya ki jai. Same way, Rama has come like a human being, but is he a human being? No, he is not. So he is a fraudster, he is also an imposter, he is also an imposter. So Hanuman goes to him and deal thorn by thorn. So he is going in a similar manner. Because they are able to understand that they look like mendicants, but they are not. So let's see what he is going to say. So when he goes there, first very beautifully, the word that is used is Raghavau in plural. Hanuman didn't go and offer obeisances only to Rama. He offered obeisances to both. Because till the time you actually discern who's the boss, who's the das, till then you should not mess with anybody. Yes? So look at every sensibility of Hanuman, how he deals, when you meet somebody in the corridor. Sometimes we see somebody in the lift when we are going for an interview. So you may be fidgeting, you may be whatever, but if you are actually disrespectful to somebody, you will know that this guy is a very powerful guy in the company you're being interviewed now. So like that, Hanuman here offered obeisances to both, and see the soft beginning that Hanuman makes. You should see how much praise. See two things. How much praise Hanuman has to make. But then, still, how he directly deals with the contentious issues, both sewed in inseparably, beautifully together. ये आता है फिर वो बोलता है, ये बोलता है वो बोलता है. You know, it's like is he an enemy? Is he a friend? Is he an enemy? Is he a friend? You know, like that. You know, the beautiful intermingling of the two things you will see here. So, first, Hanuman's beautiful speech. First, he says, Rishir Deva Pratimau. He says, you look like rishis or devas. That's how you look to me. This is the first statement that he's making. And tapasau, sanstitau, vratau. You're very nicely situated in the vratas that you're doing. It is showing. But then he's saying, but I also see one other thing. But when you're walking in here, somehow you are able to cause fear to all the animals that are here. Yes? The first statement is he's already made two points appreciating them. But he says, by your looks, the animals, we think animals don't read us. The reality is we don't read animals. They read us much better. Because when you go to a Rishi's ashrama, how the animals are dealing with that in that space, they are very chilled out. Because they have no fear of anybody. But when there is somebody with a Dhanush Ban and rippling chest muscles, then you think, Bhaiya, what's he going to do to me? So the animals, you are causing fear to the animals. So, but still I see you as ascetics. You look like ascetics, you look like devas. So you really don't belong. So he said, I'm not discerning what you are. But then he says, you're causing fear to the animals. Then, look at what all he's observing. He has observed Rama before and he's saying, you're sighing. Yes? Because Rama was still in that mood. That he's missing Sita. You don't see that with Lakshmana. Now Lakshmana is the one who is giving the energy, getting him by his hand and pulling him along, literally. Yes? And he's taking him. Not only that. It also indicates one more thing. It also indicates that you have travelled here from a big distance. You don't belong to this zone. You are not neighbouring village wala. Yes? You have travelled here from a big distance. So it looks like, so he's saying, I see you as very young, brave and strong people. But you also seem tired. So you see, already it's like they are standing there and they have not spoken one word. He is already placing them in different spaces. Yes? You don't belong here, you don't belong there, you're this, you're that. So it's like, what are we dealing with here? Who is this person that we are having here? So then he says, and I also see one other interesting thing, that you're constantly looking up on the trees. Generally monkeys look up on the trees. What are you looking up on the trees for? What does it mean? It means you're looking for monkeys. You seem to be searching for monkeys. Yes? He's not saying that. He's saying, but you're looking up towards the trees on the banks of Pampa, the lake. I'll read this. Having the gaze of a lion, both of you, Veerau Mahabalau, Vikramau, Simha, Viprekshitau, the way you're seeing is like a lion. You look at different animals and you will see tiger's got a really wild look on him. You see the lion, he's got a calm, majestic look. In most cases, you won't even know if he's coming for you. But he's like chilled out, look at you like this. Anybody been in anywhere near a lion, really close, like this close? Even 50 meters from the lion? Huh? You've been? Huh? In the zoo. I also saw in the zoo only. But I saw in the zoo in a very different way. I'll tell you that. We went to Trivandrum Zoo. So I was walking on the side of a wall like this, 10-12 feet wall. Suddenly I heard the roar of a lion as if it's standing right behind me. It's like, oh! Because if you hear the roar of a lion in that proximity, then you know what's the loudness of a lion's roar. A lion's roar can be heard 4 to 5 kilometers away. That's supposed to be the full loudness of a lion's roar. And that's why he's the king of the jungle and the forest. Kampta hai, dar dar kampta hai. Just by hearing his voice, you know the trouble that you're into. I didn't know that there was a lion across the other. Then we went across the other side and said, woohoo! For just being across a wall, if it can be this frightening. So, he's saying you've got the majesty of a lion. And Shakra Chapa, Nibho, as if you're having Shakra as Indra. As if you have like bows that look like rainbows. Yes? And you're holding that in your hand. Grihitva Shatru Sudanau. Hey, you look like you're going to give a lot of trouble to your enemies. Whoever is your enemy is going to be in trouble. Shatru Sudanau, one who kills the enemy. Srimantau, Rupa Sampannau, and you look so resplendent. And Rupa Sampannau, so majestic, beautiful looking people. Vrishaba, Shreshta, Vikramau. You seem to have the strength like bulls. The best among bulls, strength like bulls. Hasti, Hastopamam Bhujau. Hasti is Hastini. Which is that verse? Suni Chaiva Shopa Kecha Pandita. Which is? Gavi Hastini. Hastini is an elephant. That word Hastini comes from the word Hasta. Hastini is one who has an extra hand in the form of a trunk. So here the word that is being used is Hasti Hastopamau. That is Hasti, the elephant. Hasta Upamau, the hand of the elephant. So see, the same word is being used to say elephant, and the same word is used to say hand here. So which means your shoulders and hands are like the trunk of an elephant. So such beautiful speech. Dyutimantam. Just when you see some people, you feel like, ooh, good looking person. Yes, majestic, so well kept. Nararushabha. So this is the kind of description. So here you see what a soft beginning. So appreciative. Still, he doesn't give it all out. He just says, oh, you are so good looking. It's not just 5 sentences of just how good looking you are or what I see. But he's also bringing out the doubts, sewn in mildly, beautifully, along with the same description. And then he says, actually, I'm able to see that you actually deserve to be kings. Yes. So then, and I'm seeing the beautiful strong arms of yours. You should actually be wearing ornaments on them, because these arms deserve those ornaments. So without telling them, He's telling them, hey, don't fake it. You are not a sadhu. You are kings who are messing around in this place. Don't fake it. Tell me what it is, but in a very beautiful way. He's putting, just like they say, you put a needle in a banana and feed somebody. You don't know what you're being fed, but it's gonna poke you at some point in time. So he's just adding masala, mirch masala as he goes, very beautifully. Then he says, actually, the beautiful quivers and the sharp arrows of yours, they look like snakes. Yes. So he's saying, I've already blown your lid. Yes, I read you. You don't have to tell me, I read you. He's letting them know very beautifully. He said, then, by this time, you have a dialogue this big with somebody. You speak 10 sentences. Either before that guy would have caught you by your collar and said, rascal, what are you doing? Yes? For the nature and the body type, they would have immediately taken the arrow ready to shoot him, finish him, or they would have engaged in a dialogue. He's able to see the calmness in Rama. He's able to see the calmness in Lakshmana. He's able to read them already. He sees their persona. Are these people, do they look like cheap fellows who one other guy gave supari, paid him 5,000 rupees and he's going with a gun to shoot somebody else? This is not the guy. Yes, these are not the people. He's able to read that clearly. Now Hanuman decides, I'm going to tell them what I have to tell. After speaking all this, looking at their face, looking at their expressions, he's saying, I have come here on behalf of Sugriva. So when they hear the word Sugriva, both their ears, if they were permitted, they would perk up. Yes? So immediately they're saying, oh, okay, Sugriva, this is the person we have come looking for. I'm here on behalf of Sugriva. And then he says, I'm a monkey. So why would you reveal? When you have gained the kind of comfort and acceptance that the other person there is in sync with you, and you're able to see through that particular situation. So then he's saying, I'm a monkey and I've been sent by Sugriva to speak to you. And he says, Sugriva is seeking your friendship. With that, Hanuman finishes and remains silent for a second. Sometimes, ek aadmi khatam nahi karta. It's like, when we started our Zoom calls in the old days, he will also keep talking. He will also, Arey bhaiya, tu ruko na. No, Hanuman speaks and then he pauses, waiting for the other two to speak. Now, the interesting thing about how Rama deals with Hanuman is very beautiful. He already knows, Hanuman knows that they are Kshatriyas and they are from a kingly background. So Rama is dealing with him like a king. Rama is not talking to Hanuman directly. Hanuman is a messenger. Lakshmana is a messenger. So he speaks to Lakshmana and he is expressing about what he thinks about Hanuman, and he speaks to Lakshmana so that he permits him to go and speak to Hanuman. Rama is not directly engaging in a conversation with Hanuman. Yes? So it's very beautiful to observe all the intricacies of this particular exchange. We're going to come here very soon, hopefully, because in the end of Aranya, that is when Rama and Lakshmana are told by Kabanda that you have now relieved me from my situation, so I'm giving you a tip. Please go and meet Sugriva. So because Kabanda Bahushchedana Ram Rama Rama Jaya Raja Ram. So Kabanda Bahushchedana Ram, he cut the hands of Kabanda and he cremated him. So then he takes a divine form, comes out and he tells him to go and meet Sugriva. He says, your situation, I know your situation. Who can help you? There is Sugriva, Vanara called Sugriva. He is capable of helping you. Go seek his support and you will be able to find your wife. This was Kabanda's word. And because Kabanda was ultimately not just a normal mortal, he was able to see and give that connect to Rama. So Rama has come here with that specific goal. So Rama is saying, Vakyajna. Sorry. Vakyagnya means he knows where to place his words. Madhuram Vakyam, not only that, his words are so sweet. Both of us didn't want to interrupt him. He spoke for so long. Nobody wanted to interrupt him. Madhuram Vakyam. Sneha Yuktam. Not only that, in a very friendly manner. There is a smile on the face. The way he is dealing is fantastic. If only we could deal with people in this manner in our lives. From wives to friends to bosses to anybody. Our life will take a 180. 360 is a problem. You come back to the same place. Our life will take a 180 degree turn, the opposite direction. So this is Rama now speaking about Hanuman's words and speech and how he is communicating. Then he says, it cannot be Rigveda. It cannot be Yajurveda. That's not how the sentence is formed. It cannot be that a person can speak without having read Rigveda and Yajurveda. This is the conclusion that Rama is making. Just by his speech and the way he is speaking, this person is definitely Vedavit. And Hanuman is supposed to have attained his knowledge from Surya when he had that wonderful dive for Surya. So at that time, because of the harm that was created to Hanuman, means the one with the big jaw, because of the hit and this thing. So Surya took anyway, he's Vayu's friend. So he said, okay, yeah, the bacha was mischievous, but let's put him in place now. Let's do something for him in return. So Surya Bhagwan, Vivaswan Manave Praham Evam Parambra. Yes, this knowledge comes, so he got directly from there. Hanuman got that opportunity to learn. So this Rama is able to read. Ultimately, Rama is the source of this information any which way. So Rama is able to read this, and he says, look at his face. His face is faultless. When you look at the face of the person, it looks like he's a pickpocket. What is he? A complete rascal. Or you look at peace. There is spirituality. There is happiness in the face of the person. So he said, look at his face. It's just faultless. And look at his eyes. And then he says his eyebrows, they are not net like mine. My eyebrows are half the time like this. Whom can I rip apart? Dalita Hiranyakashipu. Yes. No. There's this calmness, there's peace in those. Just look at him. Hanuman is already having a fan in Rama. Yes? How much he appreciates. Then not only, he doesn't stop there. Rama says, did you hear the tone of his voice? The tone of his voice was superb. And then he says, there are three sources. And he is using all three sources. What are the three sources? Have you heard three sources of the voice? Ever? Just close your mouth and say, The sound's coming from the head. It's not even from the throat. That's from the throat. Yes? So he's saying, in his speech, I was able to see that he's beautifully using all three segments which are the source of sound. This is Rama's analysis of Hanuman. And then he says, it's not that he spoke so fast that nobody can understand what's happening. No. He spoke at the right pace, that, or he wasn't too slow that before this person finishes a sentence, the other guy cannot even hold it. He's speaking so slowly, Prabhu. Who will wait for him to speak? No. Not too slow, not too fast. Just perfect with pace. And then he says perfection. The kind of details he spoke, he didn't give us too much detail. He spoke in detail about what he has observed us. But when he had to give the final detail, he just gave us what is needed in two points that he made. I'm representing Sugriva. I'm a monkey. This is one segment, because I'm representing Sugriva. Second segment, Sugriva seeks Sakya with you, friendship with you. These are the two most important things. You saw the brevity that he has got in his speech. Where he has to speak more, when he is observing, he spoke. Where he has to speak less, he spoke less. This is Rama's observation of the greatness of Hanuman. then he says, actually, if a guy speaks like this, even if he's an enemy, we'll be standing here admiring how he speaks. So this is the greatness of Hanuman. So, the first thing that came to me today was, I thought, if we are to speak on Hanuman, then we should speak on this first meeting and how Rama was impressed by the greatness of Hanuman. Anybody has ever heard this stuff in detail before? This is all there. We're going to be doing every segment of Ramayana in this detail. That's one request. The New Year's coming up, and I would request everybody who is part of this forum to see to it that they are able to dedicate their Thursdays to reading Ramayana and to be able to follow what's happening in Ramayana. Because Ramayana changes heart, Ramayana changes our behavior, Ramayana changes our level of attachment that we have towards Rama. Ramayana has an impact on all of these things in a very big way for us. So then Rama finally concludes, says, he is the perfect ambassador that the king can have. So it looks like he is speaking to Lakshmana in a lower tone next to him.
He's not here.
Yeah, that Hanuman is not hearing. Hanuman is at a distance. So he's, you can't get too proximate to somebody you respect and this thing. And in the first meeting, when you don't know whether you're foe or friend, yes, in that situation you keep a respective distance. So he's making this mention to Lakshmana, and then he's looking at this thing. Lakshmana takes a step forward, and Lakshmana is now addressing Hanuman. So he said, Lakshmana is saying, hey, listen, we have heard of Sugriva and we are eager to meet him. And then as a bunch of sentences there that you will really need to understand the mood, the humility that somebody like Rama is capable of showing will put us all to shame. The humility that Rama is showing. So then he says, because we are here specifically to meet Sugriva. This is like, say, in some movies, you will see one guy got a stash of cocaine. For some reason, he has got to deliver it to somebody. So what? You don't know that business, no? So then when you go there, you'll say, Bhaiya, kuch bhi bolo karne ke liye taiyar, khatam karo baat mein. I am stuck for whatever reason. So I am ready to do whatever. That's exactly what Lakshmana is saying. Now, we are getting into a completely different deal. We have never dealt with this person, Sugriva. We know we need him at this point in time. So we are ready to abide. The clear statement to say this is Lakshmana's side. He says very clearly that we are ready to abide by whatever you say. आप जो बताएंगे उसके हिसाब से हम चलेंगे. Very, very clearly stated. So Valmiki is saying at that time Hanuman resolved to befriend them. So this is first Hanuman is sort of establishing a Sakya zone with Rama, and finally you see that Sakya always remained, but a predominant Dasya as the mood, because Hanuman is ultimately which is that verse? Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshitabal Abhavat Vaiyasaki Kirtane Akrurastvavi Kavipate Dasye. In that verse, we talk about, for Shravana, who is the Adipati? Parikshit. Vaiyasaki Kirtane. Shuka is the Adipati for Kirtana. So like that, Akrurastvavi Vandane for Vandanam is Akrura. But Kavipate Dasye, Kavipati, which is Hanuman, he is the representative for Dasya Bhava. So here he decides that he wants to make Sakya, befriending Rama. So what he does, and within him, he's already scanned. He says, yeah, these are people. If somebody is going to help fish Sugriva out of the situation that he is, it is going to be them. So within him, he's happy that they've spotted the right person and they're going in the right direction. So then Hanuman asks them a straight question. Now you see, now is the time. You already built your bridge. Now it's time to talk clear. Say, why have you come here with your brother to this dreadful, inaccessible forest? Why have you come here? रास्ता साउथ जाना है तो अनेक और जंगल से बाहर रास्ता भी है. You don't have to come this way. So why are you here? So Lakshmana narrates the full thing. तो So he says they are sons of Dasharatha. This is his eldest son. He is supposed to have been ruling, but he has been sent out to the forest. And his wife was good enough to accompany him, but unfortunately somebody didn't allow her to accompany beyond a particular time. I am Lakshmana. This is a very beautiful statement, and this shows Lakshmana's bhava, mood. Kritagnyasya bahugyasya Lakshmano namataha. So he says, I have accepted Brata Gunair Darshaya Upagataha. He said, I have accepted to be servant of Rama. Why? Gunair Darshaya, because I saw the qualities of this person and I have accepted on my own to be his servant, and I have come to this. This is the mood of Lakshmana. Yes? And this is the greatness of Rama. The quality of the person is such, he is such a wonderful person that people want to be associated with him. People want to be a servant to him. Like the other day I was speaking on one more segment when Bharata went with the Paduka from Ayodhya. He was going to Nandigram after dropping the mothers in the palace. Many people say that Bharata went from after taking Rama Paduka straight went to Nandigram. It's not the case. First he went to leave the mothers in their palaces, and then there is a description how Dasharatha's palace looks completely empty without Dasharatha being there, like a Simha Narendrena Simha Vina Yata Guham. Just as a Guha is going to be without a Simha, how it will look. So that description is there in that space. And then he takes permission from the mothers, takes permission from Vasishtha, takes permission from all that. He and Shatrughna get on the chariot and go. They didn't call anybody. But the army went following him, unasked for. All these sadhus, Vasishtha Adi, all of them were ahead of the chariot to go with Bharata straight away. This is the greatness of a leader. Hey bhaiya, tu aa ja na? Nahi Prabhu, main aaj bahut busy hu. You know, this is the beauty of a leader. So here, again, Lakshmana is saying, hey listen, I didn't come here because I'm not a bonded slave or something like that. I have come here. Look, see, when you are speaking to somebody, you need to speak the glory of that person. Who is it that you are meeting? Lakshmana is now representing Rama. He has to etch it in the mind and heart of Hanuman that what is this persona that you are dealing with? What is the size of this person? So you see, this is Lakshmana's beauty. He's glorifying Rama there, and he says, I have accepted to be here. So he's lost his kingdom, he's lost his wife. Hanuman, within his mind, he is thinking, oh, perfect match. Why? This fellow also lost his kingdom, lost his wife. The combination seems to be perfect. So let's see how this goes. So then he says, Kabanda asked us to meet. Now why does Rama come here? Listen to this statement and listen to the Sanskrit. Aham chaiva hi Ramascha. Not only me, even Rama and Rama. Why have we come here? Sugrivam Sharanam Gatau. This is the humility of Rama. We have come to take shelter of Sugriva because we need monkey of all things. Yes, he may be the king of monkeys. Where is Rama and where is Sugriva? It shows the Udara Hridaya of Rama, that he can be so magnanimous. And then he says, the next verse is saying even further. Sugrivam Natamichyati. We desire that Sugriva will be our Lord and Master, will guide us on what is to be done. He is going to be boss, I am going to be das. Rama's statement. Lakshmana is representing this to Rama on behalf of Rama. And Rama is standing there, listening, nodding along. It's a fact. He's come there. Then, Sarvalokasya Dharmatma, this person who is Dharmatma and who is capable of ruling this entire world. Sharanasya Sharanam Pura, where the whole world has taken shelter at his feet. But he is currently in a situation, Sugrivam Sharanam Gata, again. But that person is now come to surrender to Sugriva. This last sentence beats it all. I thought it was 2-3 sentence बोला 2-3. देखो, कभी-कभी हम बोल देते हैं, प्रभु थोड़ा हेल्प करो, प्रभु आई एम टोटली सरेंडर्ड टू यू. इसके ऊपर एक बार के ऊपर मुंह में नहीं आएगा. No fellow will say to another man his equal, even. He will not say more than once. And in case that man recorded it, he said, कब बोला? I know. No, maybe that day I was in a bad state of mind. No, here it is coming 5 times, again and again, one shloka after another. That's the mood that is being depicted, and listen to it. This is the final one. Sugrivam Vanarendra tu Ramasya Sharanam Gataha. Where is that? There's one more. I'm missing one more. Vanarendrasya prasadam abhikankshate. They are aspiring for the prasadam, the mercy of Vanarendra. This is Lakshmana's statement. And then he says Rama is afflicted by Shoka, and I'm not able to take that. Saying that, Lakshmana is teary-eyed. So seeing that, Hanuman, the speech stops there. They're all silent for some time. So then Hanuman is saying, Drishtavya Vanarendrena Dishtya Darshanamagataha. Drishtavya Vanarendrena. In reality, O Rama and Lakshmana, what should have happened is this Vanara should have come to you seeking help. But it is his good luck and fortune that you have come looking for him. So you see, though there is a sense of humility that is being shown by Lakshmana as he states this, but Hanuman is already able to read who these people are, and therefore he is telling him, no, it's the other way around. Sugriva should come seeking for you. You are not seeking Sugriva's prasada. Sugriva is seeking your prasada. And that's how Hanuman also communicates that to Sugriva later. When he goes to Sugriva, he says, surrender to them. He doesn't say Sakya. Here he is saying, see, when you personally instruct somebody, you can say, Prabhu, he is a very great person. Please, wo jo bhi bola, uto, beto. But when you're introducing the two people, actually he's a very good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. So I wanted to see that you both will be able to network and you can see what you can do. That time you're not saying he's going to be your servant. That's not how you live. But when you're speaking to this person, when you want to introduce the other person who is a very big personality, then you will say, please, this guy is super big. So please be careful. Yes, deal with it. So like that, Hanuman, when he informs Sugriva, his tone is different. But when he is speaking to Rama here, his tone is different. This is the greatness of Hanuman. Yes. So he says, there are 3 things that has been happened to Sugriva. First, he has been offended. Second, he has been abandoned. And third, he has become wifeless. So, in your case, the offense is not there. Yes, in his case, yes, the wife somebody else took away. Yes, and the fact that you are abandoned is true. You have been asked to go to the forest. That is true. But again, nobody offended you, and it's not one person who is doing all the same masti. Yeah, in your case, father did one thing. Yes, and Ravana did the other thing for you. So so this is the next point that is being made. So he says, we will, Hanuman here speaks for himself. We, all of us Vanaras, we will extend our full support to you in this particular situation. He says, now we will go to Sugriva. I have 10 minutes to go. We progressed so little But there's so much depth and detail in what we are seeing. So this is the great opportunity. You see, what are the yogis trying to do? Dhyana avasthita sadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino yasyantam na vidusura suragana. Dhyana avasthita sadgatena manasa pashyanti. In their mind, they get the opportunity to pashyanti. Or there are other people who go to the Kshira Sagara and then they sing all those great praises to the Lord. And many times they will only hear a voice from inside. Okay, don't worry, I understand what your problem is. Masucha, Masalama. That's it. Finish. There's not even giving audience to them. One more problem. Okay, take it. I will take care. Don't worry, go. Yes, that's the kind of treatment. But then, when we talk about the yogis, then we say, Jnatum, Drashtum, Chatatvena, Praveshtum, Chaparantapa, in Bhagavad Gita. Yes? First Jnatum, first you get to know about the Lord. Then you get to see Him, Drashtum. And then Praveshtum, then you get to go to His abode with Him. So this is being stated. Now, first Hanuman, Dekhte hi Jnatum. Yes? And along with them is Drashtum, is already happened. Now it is Praveshtum into the next zone for Hanuman. And that happens like instant. You have a 15-minute conversation and you are already sold to Rama. You're supposedly Mr. Minister for Sugriva, but you already renounced that ministerhood in like, literally at that situation. So what is he saying? Prashtamarupyatai tau virau. So he picked up each one of them, Rama, and Rama is saying, "Oh, we'll walk in." No. Why? This is very dense forest. You don't know. He instantly will lege jayega. Don't worry. Why? It is opportunity. Where are you going to get the opportunity that the Lord is going to sit on your shoulder and His feet are touching your chest, and where are you going to get this opportunity? Why would Hanuman, who is so intelligent, miss an opportunity to do something like this? So Hanuman takes them on his back and then takes them straight to Sugriva. I think we should close with this. Then there is a very beautiful story of Sugriva meeting Rama, but we'll pause with this just to reminisce on the greatness of Hanuman, the quality of that person, the dedication to the Lord. He was out of the many Chiranjeevis that are there, Hanuman is one of the truly greatest, and from a devotional perspective, the truly greatest devotee that we can see of the Lord is that person who's constantly in the meditation of the Lord, constantly talking about the glories of. I don't know whether a few days ago I spoke on some verse from Adhyatma Ramayana. It was so beautiful, where Hanuman is having a discussion. Where Valmiki is having a discussion with Rama, and he's telling Rama, you know how this Valmiki happened, and he's narrating that whole thing, and he says, this is the greatness of your name. All they told me was to chant Mara 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 Mara, and I kept chanting, and I got so engrossed with it that I didn't know the seasons go, and the entire anthill came built on me. So and that's why they also say, where did Rama send Sita? Maike bhej diya. Sent him to Valmiki's place. No, Maike kya baat hai? Bhai thodi hai uska. No, dono bhai hai. Because the anthill is also supposed to be part of the Bhumi, and anthill is supposed to be the ear of Bhumi Mata. What is Sita? Sita is born from Bhumi. So, what happened? This is also one argument that is given to say, and it's not that. Anyway, I don't want to get into that's kept for the next week. We'll catch up with why. There's another beautiful reason also behind that. The fact that they met Valmiki before that. It's not some just dropping somebody off in some corner and walking off. They had already met Valmiki before that. Rama knew very much. So, any other questions, comments on Hanuman?
From when did the actual reciprocal relationship starts with the
I don't have the authority to actually answer this exactly, because if I have an Acharya's commentary to say this is where it started, then I would quote. I don't have the authority. But if you look at what happened beyond this relationship at every step, Sugriva didn't have the actual capability to deal with somebody like Rama. You see, after this, what happened? I'll just take 2 minutes and explain this to you, then you'll understand how this goes. Rama, the relationship with Rama of Sugriva is being guided by Hanuman, right through. So first he is going and telling Sugriva, hey listen, these two people have come, they're very, very special. They're not humans at all, these are very special people. Your duty is to surrender to them. This is the instruction that Hanuman gives. He goes inside, tells Sugriva, comes out, takes Rama and Lakshmana and goes inside.
Even though he is just a minister.
Yes. He tells the actual words. When you see later when we deal, I will highlight those specific words. He says, surrender to them, and he doesn't say one. He says to both of them. You see, that's also what he did himself. He first offered obeisances to both, and he told Sugriva to offer obeisances to both. I don't know whether I've dealt with this part before. No, never touched. But what? Now, you see, just as Rama decided he's not going to speak to Hanuman, yes, and he had Lakshmana deal with this thing, Sugriva does the same mistake. But he doesn't understand that Lakshmana is himself, an Amsha of the Lord. Ultimately, he's not able to understand. That Hanuman is warning him before, but he doesn't understand. So what he does is, when Rama comes there, he just jumps up, picks a branch, and puts that for Rama as asana for him to sit on. That's all you have in a forest. Yes? You pluck a branch, shake it so there's no dust, and put it for Rama to sit on. So Rama is sitting on it. Lakshmana is standing. He doesn't do anything for Lakshmana. I think I mentioned this too. He doesn't do anything for Lakshmana.
But not in Ramayana.
Huh?
Not in the Ramayana.
And this is not from Ramayana. This is from some Acharya's commentaries say like that. So what happens? Hanuman, Ramayana says very clearly, Hanuman saw Lakshmana as standing. So what he did, for Sugriva gives Rama a Shala tree branch. Hanuman goes diving, picks up a sandalwood tree branch and brings it and puts it for Lakshmana. To say that, what is that verse which says that better than worshipping the Lord is to worship His devotees. Vishnu Rara Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samarcham. Okay. So from that perspective, he comes and he puts that, and Lakshmana also sits down. And after that, they have this whole exchange. Then finally, which I mentioned, how Hanuman saved Sugriva from near death in the hands of Lakshmana. Because, when Sugriva, Rama is so kind-hearted. So he tells Sugriva, listen, you've been away from your kingdom. You've been away from your wife. You've been living off all this, namak bhi nahi milta hai tere ko. Go, have some fun. 4 months of Chaturmasya, there's not much we can do. So can you imagine? Somebody gives you, when he knows that his wife is captive somewhere and she's suffering and he is renting his heart every day for that person. Still this Rama thinks that I have to give Sugriva the opportunity to, get back into his family, back into his kingdom and stuff like that. So he kills Vali, puts Sugriva in space, and then he gives him 4 months. This guy goes to sleep in completeness. Luckily, Hanuman is able to see that he's in drunken stupor, he's just enjoying with women. So this guy is going to mess up the relationship with Rama. He comes and gives, there are 5 shlokas which talk about relationship lessons from Rama. How you have to maintain relationship with kings who are there, people who have done something for you. He explains all this. Then he says, order immediately that all the Vanaras should be summoned to come here. That one thing that Hanuman did saved Sugriva from death in the hands of Lakshmana. Because when Lakshmana comes, Rama tells him, Bhaiya, thoda halka hath rakho. He goes, as he goes into the place, he's twanging the bow in full this thing. Everybody is like crazy scared. What happened to this place? And they know Lakshmana is coming and his eyes are red. They said, this is Pralaya Kala that has come to this little Kishkinda and that is happening. So that time also it's the beauty of Ramayana, how we need to understand how to lead our lives, what to do in difficult times. Tara is such an intelligent, capable woman. Hanuman, with this thing, Sugriva sees that if I go stand in my state, I am very fragrant from all that I have been drinking. I can't even speak properly, I am not able to stand. In this state, if I go and stand in front of Lakshmana, he will finish me right there. So he asks Tara to go speak to him. This is also Hanuman's suggestion. Because Lakshmana's way of dealing is when he sees a woman, his head will be down. He will not look at that person. So when you send Tara there, when your head is down, your anger is also down. And he can't show any anger to a woman. No Kshatriya will ever do that. You see when Hanuman went across the ocean, Lankini comes. Lankini gave him a tight trap. Did nothing. Just came a boom, one slap on his face. So at that time, Hanuman feels he wants to go back at her. Doesn't raise his right. He raises his left hand and gives her one japad like this. Because she doesn't deserve the right. This is Vedic culture. Yes? If you have to even admonish, you can't admonish in such a way. This is in reciprocation for what she did. But even there is sense in what is being done. Yes, that's the beauty. So here they ask Tara to go in front of Lakshmana and he chills. Then when he tell him that actually didn't you see all the monkeys and rickshaws and Balras, they've all come. We have made all arrangements. Aise, theek hai, tanda ho gaya. So if you see who manages this relationship with Rama, it is only Hanuman who is managing this entire relationship with Rama. So who knows Rama better than this thing? So if you see the entire drive after this, from that day, which is day 1, in fact Hanuman arranges for Agni. I don't know whether you have heard this before. Hanuman arranges for an Agni and both Sugriva and Rama go around the Agni, solemnizing their friendship. So it's not only weddings that are done by going around the Agni, but solemnizing their friendship, they both go around Agni. Hanuman arranges for that also. And Hanuman tells him that you surrender to them. Sugriva comes and shakes hands with Rama. Yes, I'm the king. Bhaiya, maar khaya, jaane ke liye jagah nahi. No, I'm the king. Yes, surrender to him. No, friendship. But he truly becomes a friend. Rama accepts him in that state. So much so, later you will see, when all these people come for Rama's coronation, Vibhishana is given Rama's house. Bharata's house is given to Sugriva. You will not see Atityam like this. Atiti Satkaram like this. They vacate, they are out of their house and they give their house to these personalities to stay. This is the greatness of this wealth called Ramayana. Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Srimad Hanuman ki Jai. Everybody together, please mic up.